No, but as I said, they're not going to be fine because they're asking for permission to do it. So I missed the toss. Alright, yeah, so it's your knee, is it? Who's going your knee? No postal. Saturday twilight football and it's the Sydney Road Derby between Carlton and Coburg. Should be a terrific game. The Blues will be better than the men tonight under 7 AFL listed players. Jesse Motlop and Lockie Fogarty, late excluded from the team, replaced by Harvey Gallagher and Lockie Swanee. And Will Setterfield is in the team, but he's making his way here after coming on as the sub at Docklands earlier on today. So they're going to start one short, the Blues. Other changes, Josh Honey, Oliver Sanders and Stephen Radovanec. We'll get Carlton, Coburg's one shortly, Iron Roads, and this is Adam Coburg.
Thank you, Brenton. Underway round 14, last game of what's been a very busy day in Smithy's VFL. Silvestro back in the side and just totally up in the air. Now Gentile almost shears it as it trickles in the pocket here. Coburg looking for an early score, but now we get some bodies over the top of it. Otherwise hovering, and a all-day holding ball. They're early looking up for the Lions. And it's going to be taken by Charlie Thompson.
We really need to put this away, Charlie Thompson. Coburg needs a good start against an undermanned Blues team. We will really see this as an opportunity to win, especially in this big round of upsets that we've had so far with Port Melbourne and Footscray already getting up.
4 goals to on his season coming in to this round 14 clash. He's now 5 and Coburg getting the green start at 1 on the mark.
Fantastic work for the Lions. Charlie Thompson playing his 36th game today. He's become a very important cog in this Lions outfit. Changes for Coburg, Tom Silvestro and Alex Lukic into the team for Sam Lowson, who hurt a hamstring last week, and Nathan Howard. And then a late change today, Ben Reddick, unlucky, looking for his second game back from that knee reconstruction. He's out with illness, and Josh Watson is making his VFL debut tonight. As Wizbelek runs past the ball, Burkhoff got put under pressure, lost possession of the football, Trojan locks it up, and the umpire says no ball. Big results today. 4 round of Smithy's VFL football this round. It doesn't seem to happen very often at the moment. Trying to break through here is Walker. He got dispossessed, came out the back, bombed forward by Trojan for the Blues. Inside 50 goes for football, tracking it out, and moving it wide into Dashi to put it out of bounds on the floor.
Free kicks to be taken here by Echo. Shorts it. To stop it, one of those 7 AFL listed Blues out here tonight. Andrew Ed-Carlton's got some AFL experience himself with Bombers, obviously. Inside 50. And the lead on offer. There's 2 on line, the ball was punched out play. In the end, Petrevski. Johnson headquarters entered the ground here at Icon Park. Setterfield did come on today in the AFL games to finish up.
About 6 minutes to go, I believe. So he'll be in a car in here, somewhere between Docklands and here at the moment.
Blues starting at 4 on the bench in this game. 5-minute benches here in Smithy's VFL. Free kick for the Blues. To be taken by Jack Carroll. He's going to kick it out of shot. He hits the connection from the building. Right out of here at Icon Park. This is nearly impossible kick. He's going to have a look at. There's the ball. This is to this side, which is always the right to the top of the head. Always behind. Here at Icon Park. Huge game for Carlton. Boxing
the top four without the ball being kicked. Got to get the wind and make sure they stay there. Mayball brought it out to the broadcast side. Worked out right, Silvestro, fed the hand pass back. Booted forward by Corelliano. There's a chance to charge him for the Blues. Not sure which way to go, but the hand pass back to the advantage of Lewis. Fires it in forward, good play. Finds Chicken-Cotter into the centre of the ground with you. Will play on, goes short as well. Will Hayes. He is making the most of the second opportunity. Looking right back on the AFL list, not this time, no, Corelliano takes the mark. Straight through Boucher, quality work that. Gives the hand pass off. Gillard turns it over. Phil, now Handley, Drodanovic, kicks inside 50. Unable to pick it up, maybe losing his head. There was Gallagher, the late illusion. Umpire said that nothing doing, and calls for a ball up.
The goal of the game belongs to Charlie Thompson for the Lions. Looks to try and work this out of D50. It was a wayward handball. Silvestro finds a late pass mark. Chance to late. Ball pops up after he got tackled. Ball's going to be dumped inside 50 by Radovanovic for the Blues. Bounced all the way through to Mayball. Maybe playing to get a race. He eventually finds some space, takes a bounce as I run out by hand. Now out of danger, Thompson. Max Thompson. It's a 1-on-1.5 forward. It's going to Sante against Chicken-Cotter.
I love what I did to Sante. Watching you go without it. It's a good focus. Plenty of excitement wherever they come from.
Coming just to white and normal.
Swiftly up against Murkoff. Leading in a wrestle. Murkoff won it. And pass up from Dow. Hayes. Phil. Gets the spearing ball from Chicken-Cotter to half forward. Picked up the air for the Blues. That was by Doxy. Kicks inside 50. Nice pass. And on the end of it is Lars McCasker. They did well right from the boundary throw in there. Sided their way through the Blues. Jesse Lars McCasker. This enjoys the best year in front of goals as yet. 4 goals, 6 for the season. And he'll have an opportunity to put the first one on the board for Carlton. Jesse Lars McCasker. Spent some time in the Northern Blues, went towards Ray. He's come back here to Icon Park and he delivers the first goal for the home team tonight. Carlton take the lead after 7 minutes.
You mentioned the busy day in Sydney's VFL around the grounds. For the live game between Williamstown and Essendon, 3/4 time, 13-8, 86 the Bombers leading Willie 7-8-50.
0-8 for Essendon, they're going there.
Tony Miles has 26 touches for Williamstown in that one, 4 goals for Brian Menzies for the Bombers. Key numbers out of that one. Point Gellibrand back in the middle here. They've had a goal apiece to start this game. Umpire puts it down again. Westwood got a hand on it. Boucher is brought down straight away and tackled by Mark. Wilson come out, was inside the centre square. And it's all emerged with the ball here away to Tim Jepson. Domino wins it back for Carlton. Couple of handballs and it ends up with Hanley. Now right, Hayes.
He'll knock up winning the ball with Hayes. He's not going to win the ball with Hayes on that outer wing.
He decides to play on here. He's being decisive with what he's going to do with the ball. Just sends it to the hot spot. Near the boundary line, chance to get around the corner. Ball is going to be marked. That was Kelly, he came from other teams.
In a fine season, Jai Battley Kelly for Coburg in the last line. His ball comes right across to Corelliano. Quality player down back for Coburg. Kicks to the wing. Ball is knocked away. Carlton had a chance for the turnover here. Paddy Dow. Received from Barzan. Kicks to half forward. Mayball juggles it. Tracks it, loses his strides, but keeps on going. Stacks on the mill over top of Jepson there. Ball up, 25 metres out from the Carlton goal. Smith-Leck won it down. Crocker received the handball and fumbled. Then was able to recover. Centering ball. Here's danger. Snap back on goal for the Blues from Sanders. And he's got it. Oliver Sanders hits the goal. Playing just his third game of VFL footy and his first one of the season after crossing from North Melbourne. And that is a terrific kick. A Smithy snag from Oliver Sanders.
Yeah, 2 games North Melbourne in 2021. Oliver Sanders are relying heavily on their VFL list at the moment. The Blues 16 out here tonight. AFL listed. We're waiting for the selections to arrive. The inside that was here today, we against 3 men on AFL level. And we're backing up here tonight.
They'll get him on the ground as quickly as possible, having not really exerted himself too much over down the road.
6 minutes in the bank today.
He's hoping going to cool down too much, I suppose. We're trying to get across here.
10 minutes of expired here, 2 goals to 1, Carlton's weight. After conceding the first goal of the game, Carlton sends one very high to the twilight sky. It was a really tough one for anyone to mark here. Coburg ball here on Gentile. On the ground going McKenzie. Boucher. Get it cleanly to go back into the chaos. Kimball on the ground.
The sounds
Picking it up from Jefferson, but he's going nowhere. Ball up. It's forward for Tom Jefferson from Coburg, but not getting his own good. So I think that's 2 Jeffersons out there for Coburg.
First time as an emergency tonight, Tom Jefferson, so he's closing in.
Max Thompson was emergency for a couple of occasions before he got his chance, and he's held his spot ever since as Walker clears for the Lions, only as far as Hayes back with the flight of the ball. He was called in nicely by Murkoff.
Points to where he wants the ball to go, and he drives it into the pocket. Over the back it goes, just a hand there, brought it to ground, dodging, weaving, snapping, liking. Ned Carl with the finish. And Carlton with 2 opportunistic small forward goals, and they're stealing an early march against the Lions.
3 after conceding the first one. Patrick Thompson looking on the ground for the Blues before 3 packed out. Now the Blues below that, Austin with the Lions ball for Triano. 3 each for Gentile and Petrevski.
There's some early worries here for Coburg. They're struggling to get their hands on the football.
When they do, it's coming straight back in as quickly as they're bringing it out. It's the same problem they had against Richmond last week in the second half.
Lost by 52 points in that game. 11 goals to 4 in the second half. In what was the TV game last week between 2 teams that were once married and aligned in the VFL, of course, Coburg and Richmond. It's a really low bounce to restart play in the middle. And a Coburg clearance through Gentile going inside 50. Had a fast start to this game. Silvestro couldn't take the mark. Goes in against Silvestro. Did get his hand pass out. Gillard around a corner. It's going to be a high ball landing at the top of the square. Lukic lost it in the air. Comes to ground. And it's sharked and dribbled for a point, I think, in the end by Silvestro.
12 points, the margin now, in favour of the Blues. Wasn't far away, that soccer from Tom Silvestro. Chincotta brings it back into play and finds Radovanovic. Deep in the back pocket. He'll go back to the square, back to Chincotta. Wants to run and he takes Lukic on. He just gets through. Runs his full measure, gives it off to Gallagher. Late inclusion from outside the emergencies, Harvey Gallagher. And a good tackle laid here for the Blues. Is that getting up at the base? That's Stocker, who's did nicely to bring Lukic down. Ball up, half forward, yes. Trying to work his way through here was Josh Watson, the debutant. Hooks it back on goal, but he's hit the behind post. It's out of bounds on the full.
Reclaimed by Will Hayes for Carlton. Leading this one by 12 points at Icon Park. Saturday twilight footy in Smithy's VFL. And it's a nice kick by Hayes. Onto the wing we go, Trudgeon. Had a runner over the top, Crocker, having a great year here in Smithy's VFL. 20 goals and averaging 5 marks a game. Crocker, his kick will penetrate 50, but Panowski's in the right spot. No mark was paid. Trickling back out. Another touch for Cariliano. Exon going short, that's okay. Dintino Sante for Coburg.
Sends it long down the wing. 2-on-1 contest here. Radovanovic dropped the mark, but recovered best. Fumbling the ball at the crucial stage is Ma. Getting in was Sibbald. Knocked the footy down, but the Blues keep their cool. Hand pass from Radovanovic. Tries to get it through to Stocker. Arriving was Nelson. Now the kick comes... Well, it should have came. It went back to Nelson. They decided to handball. Kick inside 50 from Nelson. And Silvestro ghosts in from the side and takes the mark 35 metres out on a tightish angle. Well, it was a bit messier than it could have been, but it got the desired result in the end for the Lions.
It's been busy. Tom Silvestro back into the side tonight, coming up for his 4th touch.
And if he can find the goals here, it'll be handy to get the Lions back in the contest, just to settle them down after kicking the first but conceding the last 3. Tom Silvestro. He'll kick from around about 40 metres out. It's a good one off the boot, but he's missed to the near side. So 2 behinds now for Silvestro. Margin back to 11.
Liam Stocker, one of the emergencies for Carlton's AFL game today, goes short to Paddy Dowell, who was not. Back to Stocker. Down the line kick is no good. This mark's taken by Sibbald. Wants to cut in board. Eden Sibbald now. There's a couple of options that can mark this. It's a 2-on-1 in the end that went for the ball for Carlton. Ended up in the hands of Thompson, but he got brought down, had no room to work with. Stays in play. Carroll's going to be forced out by Gentile in the end.
Another scoring chance here for the Lions. Seem to have settled just a little bit.
Not much of a crowd here yet. There might be some coming over from Marvel Stadium.
Certainly hope they do.
To take in this one, yeah. It's a
beautiful night for footy again, as it was last night.
It's a clear night. A couple of long sleeves out there, though.
Liu to Carl, up in the air. Claiming the mark, but not being paid it there was the Blues player in Dotsey. Spinning through Boucher. Oh, I got him by that long sleeve. And should have been holding the ball and is holding the ball. One umpire didn't pay it, the other one did. And that's the problem of having long sleeves. It gives the opposition something to grab hold of. Clearing ball by Chincotta came up towards the wing. Walker loops the hand pass over the top. Exon, game number 99 for him. Kicks inside 50. Lukic couldn't mark. Chincotta received the handball from Stocker. Goes into the back pocket and finds Hayes.
Rushed his kick, though, and it goes out of bounds before Ben Crocker can do anything with it. So we've got an 11-point ball game. Carlton's way after conceding the first goal of the game. Glass McCasker, Carl and Sanders all responding after Charlie Thompson opened the account tonight. Under lights at Icon Park. Boundary throw in. Into the ruck is Cripps now for Carlton. He's shown a bit, Josh Cripps, at this level after coming over from WA. Ball thrown up. It's going to be forced toward the wing by Trudgeon, but Cariliano, no mark in the end. Silvestro sent the hand pass out wide. Gentile gets another touch. We're inside 50. Lukic from behind. Got a fist on the ball, then it was overrun by Ma. Strong tackle laid there by Watson. He's on debut tonight out of the Northern Knights. He's Josh Watson.
Yes, late inclusion for for Ben Reddick tonight as the clearing ball came from Ma into the middle of the ground. Thumped away there by Nolan, but a free kick's been picked out here. It'll come back to the Lions and it'll go to Corelliano. Called to play on, so he drives it long and strong, straight down the middle. Lukic flew from the back. Stocker stood in front of him and marked very strongly. Played on quickly. Brought it down to Carl, who gave the hand pass off to Dotsey. Back to Carl, inboard Chincotta, getting plenty of it early. Dotsey ran on again, received from Sanders. Kicks to half forward. Oh, great Mark Crocker back with the flight of the ball. That's good football from the Blues. And Ben Crocker can shoot for goal. And this would hurt Coburg after they spent the last 4 or 5 minutes camped inside their 50 for no result.
Yep. Chincotta's up to 7 touches now, 6 each for Carl and Dotsey.
He's having a great season, Alex Chincotta. Real breakout form at the moment. Ben Crocker, 27 goals, 20 for the season. Looking for his first tonight from 48 metres out. He's hooked it and it'll land in the goal square or along the behind line anyway, and it goes off hands from Petrevski and through for a behind. So the margin back to 2 straight kicks in favour of the Blues.
Third in the Frosty Miller medal coming into tonight is Ben Crocker. Chance to make some inroads as well. No Burgess for the Gold Coast Suns today. In their loss to Casey. Toward the outer side we go. And it's won back nicely by Stocker for the Blues. William Stocker concedes some ground for Sanders. And they're happy to chip around here to Blues for the moment. Hanley. There's a whistle as the ball arrives. That's Sanders' hands. And they'll go with the switch now. Radovanovic has some space. Product of the Keilor Footy Club, Stefan Radovanovic. He'll go inside 50. Over the head of Glass McCasker. And just waiting for it out the back was Jai Badley Kelly. Went lateral. No mark in the end for McKenzie. He goes toward the goal square. They're not quite out of danger yet. It's Corelliano with the ball for Coburg.
He decides to get it as far away as he can. It's a beautiful long kick and Boucher sweeps in and takes the mark. Nowhere for him to go either. Decides to go for a run now. Puts it up on the left boot to a contest. McAvoy, some of the best hands in the competition. Shows them again there. Long ball to the 50. 2 kicks and they're inside. And Gentile has the mark 48 metres out. Distance may be right on his level. You think, Adam? Just a fraction too far?
No wind to speak of, so this is pure ability. He'd be right on the limit, I reckon.
He seems confident, but now he decides to just sit it up. It hits the deck. The Blues with the numbers back there. Murkov, handballed over to Stocker. Wanders out of defence, goes short and finds Hayes. He gave it over to Carl, who will bring it long up towards the wing. 2-on-1 contest here for the Lions. Nolan sweeps in from the side after Petrevski made the spoil. Gave it back to Petrevski. He kicks inside 50. McAvoy couldn't quite. Tapped it backwards. Trudgeon over the top to Hayes. Dintina Sante got him and dumped him over the line.
He did duck there. Did Will Hayes, boundary throw in. 2-goal ball game here at Icon Park. Boundary throw in. Swezbalek in ruck against Murkoff. He gets the handball received now. And the handball was effective as well. Kick goes down the line. It's going to be forced out of play on centre wing by Lockie Walker. In front of the benches. Wonder if Will Setterfield's arrived yet for the Blues.
Haven't spotted the number 43 down there as yet.
There's a push in the ruck here against Murkov. Swezbalek will take the free kick on centre wing. And they stream forward now. Do the Lions, and Carlton getting back in numbers to defend. Swezbalek, big left foot ball It's going to land right on 50, and that's going to be a mark in front position to Sibbald. He's done well there. Same sort of distance than what we saw from Flynn Gentile. He didn't want to shoot in the end. Sibbald's got a bit more size about him. You wonder if he's got more power in his leg.
No, he can kick this distance, Sibbald.
The man on the mark is literally standing on 50. Eden Sibbald. He's got 12 goals, 5 to his name for the season. Gives himself some more room. Unloads from just outside the arc. And goes across the face.
So, wasted opportunities have been crucial. Although it's pretty hard to say a shot from 50 is a wasted opportunity. But they've cost teams games in this round already. Werribee in particular last night. Stocker has it in the back pocket. Goes straight up the middle. Trudgeon has it knocked away from him by Watson, but the umpire said he got a piece of the arm. So Joel Trudgeon, who's another Blue, having a wonderful season off the VFL list. Nolan chops it off, kicks it back inside, and great mark floating in from the side. Stocker again.
He's been busy in this game so far, Liam Stocker. Leading ball getter on the ground now with 10, but it's a turnover on the outer side, and it's going to go inside 50 again. Silvestro looking for Sibbald. It goes out the back and out of bounds. Getting back, defending nicely was David Hanley. Boundary throw in.
Yeah, some of the balls coming out of defence from both teams are being either well read by the opposition or poorly delivered by the team kicking it. There's been a lot of turnovers around that half-forward line at both ends.
Legends stands side of the grounds here. Coburg in attack, Sibbald in ruck. Dow. Handball was intended for Carroll, but he was being followed all the way over the line. And we have another stoppage. It was Charlie Thompson that was with Carroll on that occasion. Sun slowly setting. Beautiful setting here at Icon Park for some Smithies VFL footy. Boundary throw in. Murkoff, front position, just slapped it forward as far as he could there. It will work out for the Blues, although Hayes came under some pressure from Exon. Went to the voice of Dow, and now Ned Carl has the ball here on this broadcast wing.
Carl sends it up towards half forward, almost marking it lying flat on his back. Sam Philp, after being bumped over by Walker, got the hand pass back inboard. Coburg should be able to make something happen here. It came out to Nolan, who went short to Exon. Chips it inboard, but he misses Jepson. Over the back, Swisbalek gives it back to Jepson. Ducked his head. Kick while lying flat on his back. Carroll got a hand pass away. Carl kicks inside 50, picked off by Maybaum. It's a little bit messy, but exciting in a way. As Gillard sends the kick to the outer side. Silvestro goes in low and hard and extracts the football. Thompson dives back inside. Boucher, his hand pass is knocked down. Blues with the turnover. Chincotta to Carroll. Goes onto the left boot inside 50. And Crocker was pushed, says the umpire. He certainly propelled out of that contest. And Ben Crocker will get another chance. Similar distance, opposite side of the field to his first shot. As we tick towards quarter time, 27 minutes gone. This is a big kick in the context of this first term. That noise makes it even bigger. Ben Crocker. After the quarter time siren, Carlton leading by 11 points as it stands. Beautiful twilight Saturday night in Melbourne, late June. Ben Crocker taking all the time he's allowed over this. Kicks from 48 metres out and gets the goal. That's a beautiful finish, and they'll all get over to him. There's something about a goal after the siren that can spark any team, and Ben Crocker gets his name on the board. And the Blues will go to quarter time with a 17-point advantage. 4 goals to 26, leading Coburg 1-3-9. The goal scorers for Carlton: Crocker, Sanders, Glass McCasker, and I haven't written the fourth one down there. It was Ned Carl, in fact, who kicked the fourth goal. And for Coburg, their goal, Charlie Thompson, was the first of the game. Some of the numbers in that first quarter, Adam.
For the Blues, Liam Stocker has the 10 touches, 9 for Carl, 8 for Chincotta, and in the end, shouldn't say in the end, it's only quarter time, 7 each for Dotsy and Hayes, and then for Coburg, 7 each for Cariliano, Gentile, and Silvestro, 5 for Petrevski.
It's quarter time here at Icon Park. It is the Blues leading the Lions by 17 points in the Sydney Road Derby. Brendan Rhodes and Adam Seracoglu will be back with you shortly for the second quarter, live and exclusive on afl.com.au. Welcome back to Icon Park here in beautiful Carlton tonight as the sun sets over Melbourne, the sun gleaming over the city behind us. It's an absolutely amazing sight to look at, and it is Carlton leading by 17 points over Coburg, 4-2-26 to 1-3-9. The Lions needing to fight back. The Blues potentially another man down. Sam Philp receiving treatment on an ankle, on a right ankle problem. So they could be another AFL listed player down, the Blues. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Will Setterfield still not here. I'm Brendan Rhodes, and the next voice you'll hear is Adam Serakoglu.
This second quarter will start with a 17-point lead for Carlton. Fifth on the ladder coming into tonight, 7-4 on their season. And Dow was tracking it, but it just bounced away from him in the end. Petrevski was very busy in the first quarter. Kick out wide to another man that had a lot of it, Flynn Gentile. And he'll send Coburg into attack. They got their first goal really quickly in the first quarter. They were looking to go forward, but this time it's Barzan that cuts it off for Carlton.
Brings it inboard to Xavier Marr, who'll chip it over the top. And he finds Carl. Running past Chincotta. Gave it off to Swanee, one of the late inclusions. Back to Marr, kicks inside 50. Oh, Trudgeon! Second in line, judged it best and dragged it down. And Joel Trudgeon can give the Blues the perfect start to the second quarter.
It was a great mark. I was talking about the setting before. I don't know if our camera operators can just pan up to the city. How beautiful is that as the sun sets?
It's absolutely
over the
gorgeous,
buildings,
isn't it? Just had to take a photo and get it on Twitter at quarter time too, as, well, Trudgeon's kick doesn't match the mark. He pushes it across to the right and kicks it behind. First score of the second quarter. The margin out to 3 goals.
I think I did see somewhere this week. Melbourne's back up in the rankings in terms of most livable city.
Yeah,
I
number
did see
10.
that.
I think they were they 9 the last time it was done? 10 this time?
Melbourne's back. It's been a tough couple of years in these parts, obviously, and around the world. As it's going to be sent forward by Dintino Sarte, but Radovanovic will be there to cut it off for the Blues. Switching ball for Hayes, who was very busy in the first quarter. Turnover comes. And Coburg will go into attack now, although that kick was too shallow. We're back where we started. This time it's in the hands of Michael Lewis, and he'll go toward the outer side. It's a 2-on-2, but presenting nicely was Glass McCasker.
You can almost hear Ryan Exon's exclamation mark when he missed that target going forward as Glass McCasker goes up to half forward. And there's a whistle here on play, an arm chop, and the free kick goes to the Blues, and it's Josh Cripps to take it. A couple of kicks from home is Cripps. Younger brother of the superstar skipper. Kicks inside 50. Maybaum took it off the pack, gave the hand pass off Gentile. Jepson clearing ball up to the wing. Good work. Working hard for him is McAvoy and takes the mark.
The brother of the Hawthorn skipper, left foot towards half forward. No mark was taken. It was played on by Exon toward Gentile. Gets rid of Marr nicely. And then the fumble at the crucial moment by Boucher, but a great recovery. Gets it now. Left foot was low inside 50. Ball was then left behind. Boucher again gets it. 2 tacklers on him, then a third got his hand pass out. Good tackling pressure there from Dotsey. Umpire has called for a push. And the free kick will be taken by Lockie Walker.
Yeah, Radovanovic just jumped on his back there. Pretty easy decision for the umpire.
Looking down at the Carlton bench, and Philp still does not have a right boot on. So he might be out of the game.
Going to put him in the big jacket.
Kick was quickly taken toward the pocket. It stayed low. Sybil couldn't do much with it. And it goes out of play.
And he's gone into the big puffer jacket, Sam Philp, so that is not good news for the Blues. Setterfield still unsighted here yet. There was talk we might not see him before the second half. So Dow gives a hand pass off to Marr, now to Hayes, racking them up. Hand pass over the top. Back inboard, trying to spin through traffic. Oh, twinkle toes Carroll into the middle of the ground. Oh, strong mark over Crocker. That was taken by Cariliano. Gave the hand pass quickly to Jepson. Goes to half forward Dintinasante. Wants to go. Does go. Runs inside 50. Spears it to full forward. Blues everywhere. And the biggest one of all's in the road, and it's Murkoff.
Towards the outer side. No mark taken. Strong tackle laid by the debutant there, Watson. Comes out. It's going to be forced toward the wing by Carl. Holding the ball, free kick, an advantage paid for the Lions. Towards half forward we go once more. McAvoy wants to get onto the left quickly. It'll land at the hot spot, but staying down was Thompson. Allowed his opponent to go up and take it easily, and Stocker in the end, and the Blues can work this near side. It's going to end up with Sanders.
Sanders kicked a goal in the first quarter. And it ended up with Carroll, who promptly put it out of bounds on the full. They mucked around with it a bit there, Carlton. The pressure stayed on from Coburg. And this is Dintinasante. Short ball inboard. Good lead made by Gillard. There's a big hole for McAvoy to run into, or Sibbald. Missed him, did the kick. Inside the 50 it is. Trying to work his way through is Nelson. Can't do so. There's no prior opportunity there, I think. The umpire gave him plenty of time, but it'll be a ball up.
Now fully under the artificial light here at Icon Park. Handball was sent out by Carroll. Boucher gets it back though for Coburg. Had the vision and the poise to go to Watson.
Thought about giving the pass off Josh Watson, but this is your big moment, young fella. 19-year-old from Collegians in the VFL.
Played in the NAB League for the Northern Knights. Obviously set up not too far away from Piranha Park. Play a lot of their games at Kramer Street. We know about the great rivalry between the Lions and Bull Ants. Left foot ball is on its way. The debutante kicks a big goal from the set shot on a Saturday night at Icon.
16 teammates are straight to him.
Who was the one that wasn't? That means there's one that wasn't.
It means the one that wasn't. Harry Nolan stayed
We've
out.
just named and shamed him.
Yeah, I'll drop him in it. He stayed back clapping him.
Jack Maybaum, I think it actually
Maybaum.
was.
Sorry, Harry. Sorry, Harry. Come on, Jack. Get up there. All he was doing, clapped him and then told everyone to get back so we don't cop the 666 penalty. He's always thinking about the game.
It's a good justification. What a moment that is for Josh Watson on debut.
Huge kick, huge goal from right on the 50. And a big moment for him and an important goal for Coburg. Remembering they're sitting at only 5 AFL listed players at the moment, the Blues. They'll get the clearance here through Dow, kick inside 50. Maybaum dropped the mark, and now he got brought down in the tackle. Can he get it away the second time? He can't. Umpire says my ball. And we might have some more issues with right ankles. Ben Crocker is receiving treatment on his right ankle on the Carlton bench.
This is an opportunity for Coburg to knock off an AFL side that's actually having a really good season here in Smithy's VFL. That ball is smothered over the line.
So they entered this round in 5th spot, Carlton. They're sitting 4th at the moment after Box Hill lost a huge chunk of percentage in that upset loss to Footscray this afternoon.
We can try and take a look at what's happening around the grounds as well. Looks like the Bombers are going to get a comfortable win over Williamstown as the ball goes inside 50 again. It's Carroll. Low ball, no mark in the end. Cariliano then pounces. And we have a ball up inside 50. What a lovely ground this is under lights at Icon Park. That ball is going to find the boundary line.
You certainly hope that the fantastic new facility that's going up on the city side, you hope it doesn't block that skyline.
Big CFC monogram as well.
Doesn't that look excellent for a Carlton
Just in case,
supporter?
you're wondering who's the home team here tonight. Little chipping ball near the boundary line. Gentile will set a task, and Stocker just made sure that he was never going to do anything with that one.
So we're about 60 metres out from the Carlton goal. The Blues still leading by 12 points, but in the wars a bit at the moment. Swizzbelek won the tap. Trying to get through there was Ma. Fed it back to Stocker. Bombs it long towards the goal square. One-on-one contests, and Maybaum is very hard to beat in a one-on-one. Plays on quickly, dangerous kick. Hayes worked under the ball by Lane. He'll run onto the footy. Will Nelson, I should say. Luke Nelson, not Nelson Lane. He's not here anymore. Baddeley Kelly gave it to Gillard on half-back, and he'll steady it down and now work the switch.
Almost ran into trouble there. Glass McCasker was breathing down on him. All works out in the end for Coburg. Cariliano on the outer side. Grass-cutting set of kick did find its way through to the target in Alice. Former Gold Coast son, Corey Alice. Pinowski under pressure. Turnover comes. Swanee was involved, and then it was sent forward by Carroll. It was a low, dirty entry, and the Blues have had a fair few of those in this game so far. Carl got harassed out of it and gets pinged, and then puts his arms up just to make sure that the umpire didn't think he was committing at the centre fence, and the kick is sent out wide by Walker. And out of play. It goes once more, Corey Ellis.
Haven't seen much of Corey Ellis yet today. What sort of numbers for him? He's been very quiet in the first quarter.
He's actually been quiet in all of his VFL appearances. He's averaging 13 for the year. I'll get a live number shortly.
It's a surprise for such a good footballer. Having a little bit of a battle for form at the moment.
He's had 5 tonight.
Under the packs, working hard to try and get himself going. As Ma is caught by Watson as soon as he grabbed hold of the football. No prior opportunity there. And we'll have a ball up. 11 and a half minutes gone in the second quarter. Crocker on the bench, limping, has the boot back on. He's been restrapped, but he's limping quite heavily. So there's a problem here for Carlton at the moment as Ma drops the footy cold. Advantage quickly taken here by Boucher. Goes towards half forward. Nice mark front spot, Sibbald. Plays on quickly. Sends it long inside 50. Dintina Sante almost. Whistle, holding free kick. Going to the Lions. And unable to get a clear run at the ball there for Coburg was Gentile. And he's got the opportunity to cut the margin to a kick.
I was looking for, I thought it was a free kick for Dintino Sante.
Yeah, just a little bit held back, but Gentile slams it into the post from 20 metres out straight in front. Another disappointing result in front of goal.
That was well handled by Hanley because the kick was hot. But he made it stick and he goes short to Trudgeon. Hayes and Stocker up to 11 touches each, leading ball getters on the ground for the Blues. Radovanovic, that's great vision into the middle of the ground for Carroll. That was a beautiful kick by Steph Radovanovic. And now Carroll out wide. Blues had an outnumber, but the kick wasn't great. Might have been touched off the man on the mark's hands there. So it stayed inside the centre square. A couple of handballs. Trudgeon. Silvestro out of nowhere. Wins it back for Coburg, holding the ball. Lions have got their tails up at the moment. They're down by 11.
They've just got to put it on the scoreboard. Kick to half forward. Boucher's been very lively in this first quarter and a half. Goes on the left. Here's a chance now. Just outside 50. The kick inside's not good. Lukic under the pump. Handley will always be more mobile in that situation. Forces him over the line. And I think it was Ellis's kick inside 50 that missed the target. Cost his team a shot at goal. That Blues monogram shines bright over the boundary umpire's head as the ball comes back into play. Lukic at the back won the tap. Watson tumbled a kick. Here's the roving from Dintina Sante and he's missed. Goal kicking practice all around the league this week. 2 goals, 5 for Coburg.
Which means a lot of kicking in practice. And Stocker takes this one and sends it to Murkoff. And the Blues will be happy to take some safe options out of defensive 50. This is Ma. Now Cripps. He's had his moments this year, Josh Cripps. As I mentioned, he's got 7 goals to his name. Had a really good day against Werribee earlier in the year at Avalon Airport Oval. A couple of big goals to help Carlton win that game. Paddy Dow now. 2 kicks from home here to Blues. Dow will keep it boundary side. Over the top and getting a fist on the ball there was Maybaum. Blues ball at ground level though. Hayes using his vision to go inboard, but McAvoy is in the right spot for Coburg.
He'll bring it across to the broadcast side to the back pocket. Gave it to Maybaum, who goes with a spearing ball to McKenzie. Chips it short to Boucher. Swings back around onto the left boot. Flower bag kick to half forward. Gets to McAvoy, who backed up well. Cariliano's a chance from 49 metres out. Toss the full back to show him how it's done. Jesse Cariliano, long range snag. And the Lions finally get that much needed 3rd goal.
Brings them within a kick here at Icon Park.
His first goal of the season, Jesse Cariliano, and only his 7th in 73 VFL games. And to be honest with you, a lot more seasoned goal kickers could do a lot worse than watch how he did that.
So we've got that final score from Point Jelly Brands at 16-14, 110. Essendon over Williamstown, 10-12, 72.
Great result that for the Bombers, but Williamstown would be bitterly disappointed. That was a winnable game for them today.
4 goals for Menzies, 3 for Baldwin. Atavi getting 3 for Williamstown. Alec Waterman also got 3 for the Bombers. So 6 games complete, 1 still to go here tonight. 2 more tomorrow in what's been a very busy round 14 in Smithy's VFL. Murkoff will go inside 50. Crocker is back out there. Eventually gets to the ball, but got taken down straight away. The help did arrive. Coburg have done well, though. And they will get the call here. Not much that Trudgeon could do there at the bottom. And it's Cariliano who's claiming the free kick here for Coburg, doing it at both ends.
So the long ball, Cariliano up to the wing. Liu couldn't take the mark, slapped on by Swizbalek, only as far as Chincotta. Hayes through traffic, Ma, Trudgeon, they're out the Blues. There's a whistle as Ma sent it forward. The whistle was advantage taken. It was chopped off by Maybaum, who switched to McKenzie. Brings it down the broadcast side this time. Pulled the kick nicely and found Walker backing up.
Gets the 1-2 combo with McKenzie towards half forward. The Interno Sante taking the mark and quickly going boundary side. Thompson, who kicked the first goal of the night. The lead's on offer from the big man, Swesbalek, taking it in front of Carlton FC HQ.
I think this will take everything Adam Swizbalek's got.
He's another one that's goalless coming into tonight for the season. Adam Swesbalek.
A while since he snagged one too, having missed the whole of last season with that broken ankle in round 1 against Frankston.
Averaging 24 hit-outs a game. And this to give Coburg the lead. Since that first goal of the game, left foot, right side for the left footer. Doesn't even get 1 for the effort.
So Liam Stocker with the football beside the behind post, goes with the switch, spearing ball. He's got He's got Lewis out there. He plays on and plays it long up towards the wing. Big fist over the top from McAvoy. There's a holding free kick in the front of the pack. Murkov will get it. So big Alex Murkov chips it short but misses his target. It was too big. Nolan, Baddeley Kelly, got it back to Exon. Ball through was nice. And Sibbald, Baddeley Kelly, came to Gillard. He kicks towards full forward. One-on-one contest here. Thompson couldn't take the mark, and then there were blues everywhere. It came back by hand to Dotsey. He's kept his cool nicely, the young man, and he finds Trudgeon in the back pocket.
Switching ball. And that kick could be a turnover. Trying to draw Cripps into it. Fell well short of that. Hand pass over the top by Jepson. Not much that Walker could do.
There was a volleyball spike there from Lachlan Walker. The umpire didn't see it.
Into time on of this second quarter. Carlton by 4 in a low-scoring affair. This boundary umpire taking a long while, wants to get it right, and does. It's a beautiful boundary throw-in on this Saturday night at Icon. Trudgeon gets the 1-2 from Dow. Caught between a couple of blues there and forced a fist that was Maybaum. And as is often the case in modern footy, these sides taking advantage of the ball being near the benches. And a couple of changes are made both ways. So Lions haven't led since early in the first quarter. Did kick the first goal of the night through Charlie Thompson. Blues then kicked the next 3. Trudgeon. Dow got it from Carroll. Inboard it came, but Dotsey missed it. Hold, free kick, advantage paid. Inside 50, low ball from Ellis. And the Blues are able to get it back here. Dow had enough time to get the kick over toward Carroll. Keeps it in momentarily. Late pressure coming from Swesbelek.
Well done by the big fella. Carroll would have been confident of getting past him. Swesbelek did enough. So right in front of the interchange gates again. Swesbelek taps it back. Roving, however, was done by Dotsey. Now it came to Chincotta, streaming through the middle of the ground. Kicks to a 1-on-2. And at the front, it's Nolan who takes the mark. Brings it short. And it's in the hands there of Gillard, who will go all the way back to Nolan. Switch on now for the Lions. Jepson chips it around the outer side. Corelliano. He goes short and finds Padashki. Running past Jepson for the hand pass. Chipping ball again. Ellis still going Jepson. Another possession for him in this passage. Kicks inside 50. Lace out Dintinasante. Plays on. Gets on the right boot. Hooks it to the goal square. Almost the mark. Lukic trying to spin through traffic. And, well, that's one way to concede. Jesse Glass McCasker just bombs it through for a point. And Harash behind the old Mal Michael, wasn't it?
Well, Clinton Young in the 08 grand final as well for Hawthorn.
Yes, true.
That was a good day, wasn't it?
Well, for Hawthorn supporters.
Well, that's why I'm saying it. Over the top we go. That kick was just a little too hot. Turnover comes. Ends up with Gillard. Kick smothered though. Dow, another touch for him. Towards centre-half back we go, and the mark is taken by Sanders. Working it out by hands here to Blues. Ma had a runner through the corridor. And Sanders gets it back, sends it toward Will Hayes. Picked it up nicely, did Hayes. Gets around Thompson. Looking for Crocker. Does it stay in? Both boundary umpires are satisfied. Ben Crocker did kick a goal late in the first quarter. We thought he had maybe a concern with his right ankle, but
good to see him back out there.
He's going to get a rather difficult look at goal from here. Still no Will Setterfield.
I haven't seen him as yet.
Carlton might be playing down a man tonight. And they're already down Sam Philp as well. So Crocker might have got some Bronxies from some Coburg fans behind him. Minor score.
Yeah, they like getting behind their team, don't they, the Lions fans?
All the standalone
They do.
sides
It's
do.
great to watch. There was a big crowd there last Sunday for Vicky Cleary Day. Big crowd on Friday night at Port Melbourne and Werribee. It's great to see Watson stretches high to take this mark from the Nolan kick. In a few different minds about where to go. He sends it to the wing, and that's a great mark by Dintina Sante. Gets the hand pass off to Gillard. He goes to half forward. Oh, great snare. Charlie Thompson gives the hand pass off. Running past is McKenzie. Sizes up his options. Takes on Murkov. Beats him. Goes to the top of the goal square. Almost McAvoy. Not quite. Then he lays the tackle on Marr. Ground level ball here. Who wants it the most? Nelson's in there. Thompson's in there. He's hooked it too far. Charlie Thompson. And another behind on the board. Margin back to 2 points. Still 3, isn't it?
You sort that out. I'll call the play, Brendan.
It's 3 points.
3 points. Thank you very much.
I hadn't put the last one up for Carlton. We don't have a scoreboard here at Icon Park on our side of the ground in the Heroes stand.
So ball up just on the outskirts of 50. Swesbelek in ruck, won it down, but not to advantage. And the Blues will get out of the danger zone again. It was a careful kick in the end for Carl, did well. Now Marr goes for a dash, almost lost it on the bounce, then regains it, kicked it to an empty 50. Ball's trickling along. 2 Blues against 1 Lion. It was Hayes that pounced, and Hayes that scored. 9-point lead for the Blues.
That stings, doesn't it? Once again, Coburg with plenty of opportunities. They miss at one end. Carlton go straight down the other end and make them pay.
How's this at the moment? Thanks to our friends at Champion Data. All 6 of the leading ball getters on the ground are Carlton players at the moment. Trudgeon 18, Dow 16, Carroll 15, 14 each for Hayes and Stocker, and 13 for Dozzy. Before we get to the first Coburg line, which is Jake Maybaum on 12.
And he's playing at full back. So that sort of tells you that the Lions have a little bit of work to do to try and get their hands on the footy a little bit more. You'd wonder if the shortness in rotations will catch up with the Blues as the game goes on. But at the moment, they're doing a fine job undermanned. Hand pass from Dotsy to Carroll. He goes to half forward. And they've got to half-time in good shape, Carlton, on the scoreboard anyway. 9 scoring shots to 10. Coburg wasting a few opportunities that they should have otherwise kicked. And at the main break, it is the Blues, 5-4-34, leading the Lions 3-7-25. 1 goal, 2 for Carlton in that quarter. The goal coming right at the end there from Hayes. And Coburg kicking 2-4 for the term. The goal scorers for Carlton, all singles, Crocker, Sanders, Carl, Glass McCasker and Hayes. For Coburg, all singles also, Thompson, Perilliano and Watson in a great moment for his new team. It is the Blues by 9 points. Some of the numbers, Adam Serakoglu.
Just at Carlton, so I'll look at Coburg. 12 for Maybaum, 11 each for Cariliano, Gentile, Gillard and Pajaski, and then 9 each, Boucher, Jepson and Walker, the leading ball getters for the Lions.
It's half-time here at Icon Park. It is the Blues leading by 9 points. Brendan Rhodes and Adam Serakoglu will be back with you after this half-time break, live and exclusive on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app. Welcome back here to Icon Park. Saturday twilight football given way to evening football here. The Sydney Road Derby between the Blues and the Coburg Lions. And the Blues have some work to do. They lead by 9 points, but we're seeing they are 3 men down on the bench. Sam Philp out of action with an ankle injury in the first half. Will Setterfield hasn't surfaced from Docklands, where he played 6 minutes earlier on, and we're trying to spot who the other player who is out of action for Carlton is. I think it might actually be the late inclusion, Harvey Gallagher, who was in the long sleeves early on. So it's looking like they're 3 players down, Carlton, and that'll put some pressure on them. Brendan Rhodes with you. Umpire Luke Porter has the ball, and Adam Serakoglu has the mic.
Yeah, it is set up as a golden opportunity for Coburg to get their 3rd win of the season here in Smithy's VFL. They'll come into this 3rd term down by 9 points in a low-scoring affair, and a really low bounce there by Matt Pongracic, the umpire. Well, I think he's known for that, actually, that particular umpire. Really low bounces. It was a good one, though. And a Carlton ball here. Carl taking the mark, and the man that was supposed to stand the mark had run back X, and so he was able to just stay where he was and then go inside 50. It was a nice pass for Crocker, who looked slightly propey after taking the mark. He did get his right ankle looked at after quarter time.
You'd hope he can fight through that, because they really wouldn't want to drop to 1 on the bench. Coburg still has their full complement.
So as I said, 3rd in the Frosty Miller medal coming into round 14. But Chris Burgess didn't play for the Gold Coast Suns today. So Crocker, right foot ball. It's a really careful approach. And it's a beautiful kick to start this second half. Fair to say, even though they were leading, the Blues probably needed that. Margins out to 15.
Yeah, they've got to put early pressure on Coburg. This was where they fell away against Richmond last week. The Lions, they were 7 points up at halftime, in fact, in that game, and they fell away badly to lose by 9 goals. So, bit of an issue there with their 3rd quarters. They've got to try and fix that up. Fergus Green, I think, was sitting 2nd in that Frosty Miller medal.
Yeah, Chris Burgess leading it with 33, but did not play for the Suns at VFL level today.
And I can confirm that Green went goalless with only 2 disposals. So a big chance here for Crocker to make a move, as Handley took the mark inside defensive 50. So I'd expect that Fergus Green has suffered an early injury there too, which is a bad story for Box Hill. Radovanovic goes short. Stocker shrugs out 1 tackle. Handley, he'll go across the full back line. Gives it to Lewis. Chips it short. Too short it was for Ma. Handball over the top. Misses Trudgeon. Lions with a chance to make something happen here. Trying to work his way through is Walker. Can't do so. Finally, toe poked it off the ground. Dintinasante, solid hip and shoulder. Handley wanted it more. Hayes got the hand pass inboard. Kick from Stocker through to the middle of the ground was nice. Carl puts it across to the running man, and that is Dotsy. He can stop prop, go inside. They tried to cut him off. Kicks inside 50. He comes again, Ned Carl. Kick smothered by Maybaum. Flicked out the back to Swanee. He goes to the advantage of Murkov. It wasn't really the advantage at his bootlaces. The Blues still trying to work their way back in here. Handley, Ma, kicks inside to half forward. Crocker in the front spot. That is a brilliant mark by Ben Crocker in front of Corelliano. Just really strong hands.
Still 2 kicks from home though here to Blues. Crocker's got 2 for his night. Keeps it short. But Carroll had company all the way through. That goes out of play. Good defensive work there from Tom McKenzie for Coburg. 15-point ball game, Icon Park. It's been a long, busy day in Smithies VFL. It's going to end under lights in what is hopefully going to be a blockbuster. And this one can stay close to the end. So Coburg ball here, Gillard along the ground. Nothing ahead though, Chincotta will sweep it up. Low handball for Radovanovic, but it's okay. And now Lewis cuts in board. Carroll had fallen over. Easy mark in the end for McKenzie, who then gives off to McAvoy.
Switches dangerously across halfback. The mark was taken by Petrevski, goes in short to McKenzie. Brings it back to the broadcast wing. Max Thompson wants to go. They fell off him, the Blues defenders, so he does. Drives it towards the hot spot. Big fly McAvoy, couldn't quite. Hand pass up, slapped down by Chincotta. Boucher. Then the little kick from McAvoy was clever. And the mark is taken by Ellis. And Corey Ellis, who has been quiet tonight, he really must kick this goal to put some pressure on this undermanned Carlton lineup.
Yeah, eighth touch coming up now for Corey Ellis.
The last three of the second quarter all missed the target. Needs this one to hit. Corey Ellis, it's a good-looking kick off the boot. He's done enough. Important goal early in the third quarter for Corey Ellis, and the Lions get it back to 9 points again. His first goal of the season.
And he's been in and out of this Coburg lineup, has gone back to his local club, Keilor. Now we're back to 9 points at Icon Park. I think we've just dropped a couple of degrees in temperature as well.
Just had to cool down a bit. It did so last night too, although albeit a couple of hours later out at Port Melbourne. We've got the glass in front of us, which will help a little bit more.
Out in the open.
Yeah, out in the front of the
Norm Goss stand.
Norm Goss stand.
That's
in front of a big crowd. Love the atmosphere.
Close game, that one in the end.
Well, it would have been floodlight robbery if Werribee had won, but they really should have won.
Murkoff got a free fist at the ball, but didn't really penetrate that much. Blues might still get the clearance anyway. Dow using his vision to go to Crocker. It was unconventional to begin with, but then textbook with the clearance and the ball inside 50, and Crocker can line up for number 3.
And this is the man that'll take it away from Coburg, if anyone will. Ben Crocker. Genuine match winner at this level.
Will bring him within 3 goals of the lead in the Frosty Miller medal if he kicks this. Slide angle for number 3. Got very close to the man on the mark and he miscued the kick.
2 goals, 3 for Ben Crocker tonight. And it'll be Jepson. He'll go straight up the middle. Big fly Sibbald, thumped away by Stocker. Liu fumbled at the crucial stage. Watson did well. Gillard tumbles a kick towards half forward. Getting back is Murkov. It's set up beautifully for him. Now the cavalry arrives. Hayes back to Murkov. Flicks it out right. Oh, brilliant tackle, Cariliano on Carroll. Absolute cruncher. And stopped him dead in his tracks. And that's what he's been known for a long time, Jesse Cariliano, over 73 VFL games.
Might be a home ground advantage for Carlton, but a home crowd advantage perhaps for Coburg. They've been very vocal, the visiting supporters here tonight. Dintino Sante cuffing it up to Dow. Carroll into the middle of the ground. That's a great kick as well. Barzen behind the circles. Afforded some space, bottom out on the mark, and he took it. And then went inside 50. Kick was intended for Marr. Well picked up, Radovanovic. Carl into the pocket. Great ball for Cripps.
Good footy, Blues.
Left foot Chisler. And Josh Cripps can extend the lead again. It's at 10 points at the moment.
Yeah, when they get the ball moving in C's, they've still got, even with all those AFL listed players, not out there. They've still got that that Carlton style, don't they?
On the team sheet, they had 7, but it's actually 5. Philp out of the game early, as this is a point for Cripps, and Will Setterfield not taking the field tonight, despite being in the final 23, was the Medi-sub that came into the game late against the Dockers at Marvel Stadium earlier today.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they actually didn't make that late change. Perhaps they didn't have anyone available to take his place. As Petrevski goes all the way to the centre of the ground. Trying to ferret it out of there is Chincotta. Dow does. Flips a nice hand pass over the top to Radovanovic. He'll chip it out wide and find Dotsey. Patrick Dotsey. Talented young man. Got it back inboard. Lewis. And now across to Handley. Brings it to the broadcast side. Finds Swanee. One of the late inclusions for Carlton today. Goes to Liu. Ian Dotsey came under notice playing for the Colgate Young Guns last month. Forced their way into this Carlton side on the back of those 2 games. Here is the Blues with a snap around the corner. Ned Carl hooks it far too far across. And it bounces away harmlessly into the opposite pocket.
He hooked it that far across. I don't even think it was a shot in the end.
It seems
just
like
it
it's sort
was
of
almost a setup kick.
Half a shot, half a setup, and in the end he split the difference, didn't he?
Boundary throw-in. Cahill or Carl? Because there seems to be a bit of conjecture. We do believe it is Carl.
Yeah,
that is
I've
his
been
preference.
Told he's from Mount Eliza, and I've been told from people down Frankston Way. So we'll go with that until we're corrected.
Yeah, I know there are people out there that think it is Cahill, but Carl is the preferred pronunciation of Ned's name.
We've probably got Tim to thank for that.
Exactly. Ground level ball at the moment, and it goes out of play. Boundary throw in. Paddy Dow now 20 touches. 19 for Trudgeon, 18 each for Carroll and Dozzy. Gentile, Gillard, Maybaum and Podowski all have 13 each as the leading ball getters for Coburg. Approaching the halfway mark of this 3rd term. It's an 11-point ball game at Icon Park. And it's going to be cleared out by Walker, but he was pushed off his kick. And hence it went out of bounds on the full. Chincotta now has it.
And then he's given away a free kick in frustration.
50.
And then kicked away, and that is a brain explosion from the Lions. First from Gentile, played on, then again to give away the free kick, and finally the ball being kicked away to concede the 50. Triple whammy gives Carlton a clear shot on goal. It was Mackenzie, the offender, who kicked the ball away.
Penny for the thoughts of Andrew Sturgis right now.
Has he got any hair left after that?
It's virtually a standalone matchup, this one now. Only 3 AFL-listed Blues are out here. They are down to 1 on the bench. Big chance for Coburg, but the Blues are in control.
And he's kicked it behind. He's hitting the post, I think, was it? No, the wrong side, so missed opportunity there for Carlton. That point on the board extends their lead to 14. And a let off for Coburg as Maybaum thumps it all the way to centre wing. Gentile owes his team one. Trying to slap it back in was Dotsy, but that was unsuccessful.
The margins never strayed beyond a couple of kicks, but
they can't get any closer either, can they?
Yeah.
The Lions.
That's why I'm saying it's in Carlton's control, despite the low score and the quite manageable margin that Coburg are trying to claw back. This one eventually pops up from the chaos. Trudgeon had it and then lost it, as did Swesbalek. This is chaotic footy right now. Just waiting for something to happen. Umpire still letting it go.
You get those games when they just let them go.
Finally, it emerges in the hands of Boucher. Nice kick, just found its way to Silvestro. The visiting fans wanted 50. It wasn't coming. Inside 50 we go. D'Antino Sante grabbed it and snapped and missed.
Well, some of the chances they've missed, they haven't had many. They've got to take them when they get them. Liu fires it long to the wing, over the head of Cripps. Flicks down to Crocker. He gets through the traffic, gave it to Stocker. Can't shrug the tackle, had to give the hand pass away. Ma fumbled, toe poke through Boucher. Chips it over to Gentile. Didn't look with the kick. And there's only one man in the way. And that is Chincotta. No, that is Handley, in fact, is it? It is David Handley, who will bring it wide and very wide and put it out of bounds on the full. So the Lions with another chance. Gentile, better effort this time. Gives his forwards a chance. Almost the Mark McAvoy. It came down and Ma will clear. Misses the target. Exon tracks it back. Turns around. A big up and under kick back towards half forward. Waiting for it to bounce was Lukic, and Ma beat him point blank because of it. Dotsy back to Ma. He'll bring it inboard and it'll be knocked to ground. Boucher goes through for Coburg. Two Lions clash into each other. Ma tries to dive in there. And finally it's locked up. Messy football that.
Yeah, it's at times highly contested, and then it just comes out and we're getting some end-to-end footy as well. It's a bit of everything here tonight. Just not a whole lot of scoring as we approach three-quarter time. Mark taken here, but too far out to score, you would think. Luke Nelson doesn't want to shoot. Sends it toward the pocket. There was absolutely no one there except for Liam Stocker. Wasted opportunity in the end for Coburg as Ma goes toward the wing and finds Sanders.
They're out if he can get it to Glass McCasker.
It's a left foot over the top, but it's wide.
Got away with it. Glass McCasker had 30 metres in the clear on his own. And he wasn't seen until it was too late. Gillard marks the kick in that he received from Exon. Maybaum to Walker. Brings it across to Max Thompson on the wing to half forward. And that will be a downfield free kick. Hayes, well, I don't think there was a lot in it. He just got him off balance at the wrong stage. And when they go down after the ball's been kicked, it's always going to be paid. So a big kick in the context of this game for Alex Lukic. He's got to get his team back to within single figures before three-quarter time. Give them something to build on. Kevin Carlton are so many players down.
Yeah, if you're not aware, just one on the bench now for the Blues. Only came in with 22, and right now they only have three listed players out there.
So Alex Lukic kicks another behind. It's starting to get frustrating. 2 nights in a row watching these players butcher opportunities.
Carlton ball. Liu goes long just to get it out of the danger zone. Over the head of Barzan. Chance out the back here. Sanders gives it off to Dow. One of those 3 AFL listed guys that are still out here for the Blues, the wounded Blues. But they are leading as well. Maybaum did very well. Stood tall. Hand pass off. There's an injury or two behind play, I think. Maybaum and the Carlton player that had brought him down in the tackle.
Crocker, that is.
It's on the wing. Silvestro has it for Coburg. They both winded, maybe, Brendan. That might be all it is.
Maybaum's hobbling on that right ankle.
Whistle had went while the ball was in the air. Coburg ball here to be taken by McAvoy.
You might be right with Crocker.
Both up on their feet now, but all eyes are on Peter McAvoy.
Well,
on the three-quarter time siren.
Last night there was a huge need for a captain's goal. Tom O'Sullivan delivered it. Tom Gribble missed. Port Melbourne won the game. Here's another chance for that big captain's goal from Peter McAvoy, and if anyone can do it from here, he can.
They've only won 2 games this year, Coburg, in Smithy's VFL. A huge opportunity to knock off a top 8 team, an AFL-aligned team tonight. And you get the feeling this is going to be a massive kick if they will pull it off. And he shanks it. Nothing to see here. It stays at 13 points. Going into the final change, 6:10:46 to 4:9:33. The Blues lead by 13 points with a quarter to go.
Yeah, I don't think the body language was overly confident there from Peter McAvoy. The head seemed to dip as the siren went. Oh no, I'm about 10 metres too far out here. But Carlton kicked 1 goal 5 in that quarter. Coburg kicked 1-2. So it is really hard work for these teams out here. The Blues, as we've said ad nauseum, well, they are 4 players down on the bench. Will Setterfield not taking his place. Sam Philp, Jack Carroll and Harvey Gallagher out of action as well. And Coburg, well, they just can't make any ground on them. They are hanging on absolutely for dear life, the Blues, and they're doing a good job of it. They're 6:10:46 Carlton, leading Coburg 4:9:33 at three-quarter time. The goal scorers 2 to Crocker, singles to Hayes, Glass McCasker, Carl and Sanders, while for Coburg the goals to Thompson, Watson, Coriliano and Ellis. The numbers, Adam.
For the Blues, Paddy Dow, 25, 22 for Trudgeon, 21 each for Dotsey and Marr, 19 for Stocker. And for Coburg, 18 now for Boucher, 17 each for Gentile and Petrevski, 16 for Jack Maybaum with a quarter to play.
It's three-quarter time here at Icon Park. A 13-point lead for Carlton. Can Coburg come over the top, or will the Blues hold on to their spot in the top 4? Brendan Rhodes and Adam Serakoglu back shortly with you on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app. 3/4 of footy down, and one which could shape a season. For the Blues, that's a chance to stay in the top 4 and really push towards the finals. For the Lions, it's a win that they need to get themselves on the board, build a little bit of confidence. They're looking for their 3rd win, and if they can come from 13 points down against their high-profile next-door neighbours, it's something they can build a season and a future on, Adam Serakoglu.
Yeah, they are now playing only against 4 AFL-listed Blues out there. They are Paddy Dow, Liam Stocker, Will Hayes and Alex Murkoff, with one on the bench. So the final term, 13-point ball game in favour of the Blues. The wounded Blues, they'll have a very welcome bye next week in Smithy's VFL. But they've got some work to do here against Coburg. We'll get a secondary ball up. Lions will host the Gold Coast Suns on Sunday before an away game against Werribee in their next couple of fixtures. Ball comes to ground. It did come out legally according to the umpire. Crashing through and actually winning it nicely was Thompson. And the Lions will go inside 50. It was an awkward ball for McAvoy to deal with eventually. We get the ball up called for inside 50 for the Lions.
First goal just absolutely critical in this game. If Carlton kick it, you reckon they win. If Coburg kicks it, it's game on and they'll get some belief. A little bit of a push and shove there. The umpire just saying clear out. No need for any of that. Swizbalek, uncontested ruck. Ma, his kick smothered. Hayes flicked it out wide. Trudgeon and Gillard. Gillard won it. Back to Boucher. Tried to shrug the tackle of Stocker. Did enough. He got slung to ground but did enough to not get pinged. Kicks inside 50. Radovanovic over the top. Can't take the mark. Little hand pass came towards goal. Chin-Cotta. Oh, Liu tried to slap it through and he slapped it into the lap of Gentile, and Flynn has kicked a huge goal, the first one of the last quarter. Wow, the desperate effort to rush the behind from Tyrese Liu. He just put it straight into Gentile's breadbasket, and all he had to do was turn around and kick it for 1 metre out.
It was a good take by Flynn Gentile. It would have been coming straight at him really quickly.
Could that be the spark that Coburg needs? Margin back to 7.
Just their 5th goal of the night in what is a low-scoring game. I was watching another VFL game today, Brendan. I saw 12 goals in a single quarter between the Gold Coast and Casey today. In this game combined, we've had 11.
Now, Casey would have kicked most of those, wouldn't they?
It was an 8-4 third quarter, I think. 4 of those for Mitch Brown. Had 6 today.
I think
6 goals, 6 Mitch Brown today.
Didn't the Demons have 7-6 at quarter time, which had beat both these scores?
That sounds about right. Back in the middle. Do love the low bouncing from umpire Matt Pongracic. You might have to throw it up again here. No. Ball did come loose and Murkoff sends it high into the night sky. And the Blues are inside 50. Jepson did well to get the handball off Nolan. It's a tumbling set of ball. It'll land between wing and half back and go out of play.
I reckon so far they've done a good job, Luke Porter, Peter Bales and Matt Pongracic. We haven't really had cause to talk about them at all, have we?
Just the low bouncing. Which
just the low bouncing.
I don't mind it.
That they're still straight. That's the main thing. As long as they're straight, the ruckman can
I think it's,
adjust.
The terminology they use, the umpires, to see if they need to recall it. Is it contestable?
Yes.
That's what
and they are contestable. The ruckman just have a shorter run-up. As Watson, that's hit his boot. That's hit his boot, and the boundary umpire is right onto it. Bit of bad luck there for the first game of Josh Watson. Kicked a terrific long goal in the second quarter. Trudgeon with the free kick. I think the instructions from Dan O'Keefe will just be to get it long as much as possible. Cripps flicks it back to Ma. They've got one-on-ones forward of the ball here, Carlton. Glass McCasker. Ma got through, received from Dow. He was bumped off the football. Watson got it to Nolan, eventually kicked clear by Exon. Stocker will send it back in. A flower bag, it goes inside 50. Dangerous fist to ground level. Cripps slaps it towards goal. Carl, good desperation, Baddeley Kelly. And it hit him just above the knee and goes out of play for a throw-in according to the boundary umpire.
Carl a little slow to get up, but all's okay. Boundary throw-in in attack here for the Blues. Holding on to a 7-point lead. Just one on the bench. Just 4 AFL-listed players out there. That's holding the ball on a free kick going Nolan's way for Coburg. He's done a couple of good things already in the last term as Harry Nolan. Inside defensive 50 here. And in no rush. There is obviously plenty of time left in this one. Intended for McAvoy, but a big fist on the ball there by Murkoff. Boucher. Hand pass inboard was good for Walker, but the kick not so. And it's picked off by Liao. He'll send the Blues inside 50. It's a 3-on-3, then a fourth line came in. Well read by Carl. It's a floater of a kick though. And it's not registering a score.
A hand straight on his head as soon as it hit his boot, Ned Carl. He knew. As Jepson fires it outside 50. Max Thompson hits the ground running, draws the man. Boucher running down the outer side, gets the hand pass over the top. That was Nelson, in fact. Turning back is Sibbald. Oh, wonderful work by Lewis. Smothers the kick off the boot of Thompson. And he might have some cramp issues there too.
Ryan Exon's just come off the ground for Coburg as well, looking a little proppy. In fact, he's just emerged from the dugout now and might get some work from the medicos. Just can't put some full weight.
Left knee, is it?
Yep, can't put the full weight under it.
Kick out of that boundary throw-in has been marked by Sibbald just inside 50. And, well, we've seen that he can kick the distance. Can he kick it straight? He's going to pass. He's got a loose man in the pocket. And great closing speed from Chincotta. Thumps it away from Gillard and over the boundary. When you're close enough, as Sibbald was there, and you're finding it so hard to pick your way through, wouldn't you just take the shot?
Yeah, when opportunities have been few and far between. Chincotta again getting involved here for Carlton. Was that some high contact? It was for Max Thompson. Wants to cut inside. He might be looking at the sticks here. A goal would bring it to within a point. It won't be that. In fact, it'll be a mark on the last side of the fence for the Blues by Stocker. And he goes with the switching ball. Hanley out toward the outer side. Paddy Dow coming up for number 28.
So Dow always gets plenty of the football at this level. Chincotta happy to hold onto the footy at the moment. Handley back to Dow. Hugging the boundary line on the city wing. Hayes receives. Unsure what to do with it. He'll take his full allotment of time. Called to play on now. So he sends it long towards half forward. Big pack to fly. And it's pulled down nicely by Trudgeon. Brings it inboard. Hayes butted up. They're working this very nicely, Carlton. This is dangerous for Coburg. Hayes short. Oh, did he go? Yes, he did, Trudgeon. He's being corralled now by Maybaum. Dow arrives to provide some support. Spears the ball inside 50. Big fly from Glass McCasker. Couldn't take the mark. Pedashki fed it off Baddeley Kelly. Jepson. Pedashki again. Outside of the boot. Clever kick finds Ellis.
Saw Corey Ellis out of the corner of his eye as well. It's great stuff there by Pedashki. Now we go for a dash through the middle of the ground. Baddeley Kelly went looking for Nelson. Pressure was coming from behind and a free kick given away by Stocker. Nelson gets the ball now in the long sleeves. Kick will land about 15 out from home. Liu getting a fist on the ball. Ends up with Gillard. Got some high contact. Umpire has seen it.
Clever tap from Dintin Asante. He could have been excused for trying to gather that ball, but he flicked it back over his head to Gillard, and that's what created the opportunity for the free kick.
So another chance for Coburg to bring it within a point. Still early in this last quarter. Only 9 and a bit minutes in.
7 goals, 7 for the season, Braden Gillard. None bigger than this.
Skips in. Kicks it. Well. 1 point ball game at Icon Park.
You say Icon Park or Piranha Park? It sounds like Piranha Park, that's for sure.
I can see a monogram in one forward pocket.
We know where
but a lot more noise when something good happens for Coburg here tonight at Icon.
Yeah, they're noisy, the Lions fans tonight. The Blues fans, well, they're sitting back, maybe a little bit concerned now. Important goal for Braden Gillard.
Well, they have had a win today, of course, against the Dockers. That was a good win against a really good side at Marvel.
Yes, again, one of those ones that you can build a season on, a finals campaign on. Fremantle last trip to Melbourne 2 weeks ago beat the Demons. So, umpire Bales with the duties here. Another low bounce, but another good bounce. Murkov with the tap. Looking for the free kick there was Trudgeon. Fed it back to Ma. He kicks inside 50. One-on-one contest. Maybaum got the fist. Front and centre. Carl. Kick was smothered. Worked towards the line. Glass McCasker bumped over. He had Nolan and Cariliano for company.
I think it'd be a factor, this crowd noise that's coming for Coburg as well.
It's got to lift them, doesn't it? And it's got to affect Carlton because they have got their supporters there and we can't really hear them. They would want their supporters to get up and about to get them over this line. Maybaum's kick chopped off. Oh, no. One umpire has said play on, not 15. Another umpire from about 20 metres away and 20 players in front of him has paid the mark.
The umpires do have headsets so they can communicate to each other through.
Well,
is this a 50-metre penalty as well? What's happening?
No, they've
he's
neutral umpire. They've overruled the decision and they're going to ball it up. Smart move, good umpiring. It was Luke Porter who paid that mark. Good umpiring.
All right, so back with some live play. Not that there's all that much happening here. We'll probably get a ball up unless it's holding the ball. No, it is going to be a ball up.
I think umpire Luke Porter, he saw a quick kick, he saw the mark, there were a lot of bodies in front of him, he wondered why the whistle hadn't been blown, so he blew it, but yeah, good communication there.
Gillard going along the ground, he kicked that goal to bring it back within a point to Lipritz to call.
And we heard a bit of noise from the Carlton supporters there asking for that, and then noise from the Coburg supporters saying, no sir.
Swanee's going to take the free kick here for the Blues and go inside 50. Cripps in front. Holds onto it. And can restore a 7-point buffer for the Blues if he converts here. And it will be an around the corner left foot snap.
No. Big kick this one.
Will it, or is he now going for the set shot?
Has he changed his mind?
No,
he's changed his mind back again.
It will be the snap. So, Blues by 2 points. Hits the post.
2 behinds for Josh Cripps tonight. As Jepson goes short down the middle, Maybaum. Jepson wanted it back. Maybaum decided to go back to Cariliano instead. He goes inboard. Gillard provided the option. Trying to pick their way through here, Coburg. Swizbalek out wide to Nolan. He's on the move. Kicks towards half forward. Caught under the ball there, Dintina Sante. Liu tracks it back. Dintina Sante helps him over the line. And we get a boundary throw in. 14 minutes almost ticked by. 2 points the lead for Carlton. Big clearance to be won here.
Just on the outskirts of 50. Coburg hasn't led since early in the first quarter. Trudgeon had more space than perhaps he thought. And had time to decide what to do with it. Kick toward the wing now. Interesting jump at the ball there by Petrevski. No whistle. Nolan's put into the Icon Park turf. A little too aggressively. Free kick Coburg. And it's quickly taken. Out toward this near side of the ground. Charlie Thompson gets it and goes. Gets away from Marr, but it's a low, dirty entry inside 50. Clean bowls a couple of Lions. Hanley did well, got the hair pass off, and now it's coming toward Dotsy. Over his head, though. Ends up back with Coburg. McKenzie missed Jepson by hand. Sanders and then Mark. He gets put into the turf by Jepson. Ball up.
I like that effort from Xavier Marr, tracking back there to just put that kick inside 50 off. As Swizbalek won the tap. Good work by Trudgeon. Got it back to Dotsy. Thought about going forward, heard a voice over his shoulder and was smart enough to turn around. Stocker. Now through the middle they go. It was Sanders running hard. Chincotta has a couple of bounces. Got dragged down. Great chase, Cariliano. Got a hand pass away. Crocker, he's gone. Caught by Baddeley Kelly. Play on. Hand pass up from Silvestro. Gets out towards the wing. Caught is McAvoy. Dropped it cold. Good chase and tackle. And the free kick goes to Lewis,
who wants to slow things down for the moment. Halfway through his final term. Lateral ball intended for Paddy Dow. Interesting attempt at the mark there, or maybe just a spoil from Swezbalek. It ended up with Dow. Got a good look at the sticks. Paddy Dow! Big time goal! The only thing he hadn't done tonight was kick a goal. 31 touches and 5 marks. And gives Carlton an 8-point lead.
and might pick him up some Coaches Player of the Year votes if he didn't already have a few coming his way, sitting third in that award. Fourth, I should say. He's dropped to fourth behind the two Southport stars and Reece Matheson.
52 votes to his name in the Coaches Player of the Year award.
I reckon Boyd Woodcock is potentially in for another big number today again. Another dominant display against Frankston, trying to shut down Jacob Dawson's big lead. So what can Coburg do now? The question has been asked again. They trail by 8 points. It's one down by Swizbalek. Here is Walker. Left foot kick to half forward. Watson couldn't take the mark at his bootlaces. Clever hand pass. Swanee received from Chincotta to half forward. Crocker has it knocked away from him. Overrun by Hayes. Walker fumbled Silvestro. Max Thompson. Walker. And away they go now. Cariliano received from Watson. Out wide to Nelson. Kicks towards 50. Good ball. Sibbald. Probably too far out to score. What can he do with it? He runs around, runs to 52, gives it everything he's got, gives it everything he's got! Oh! Whatever you can do, I can do better! Eden Sibbald brings it back, and we might have a grandstand finish just yet.
Wow. It's turning into some game of footy, this one, at Icon Park.
They've been missing sitters all night, and then Dow puts away a ripper snap from 45, and now Sibbald from outside the 50. Sensational kick.
Margin has never strayed beyond 18 points at any point in this game. It's down to 2. Approaching time on final term. This was the place where we had the most recent VFL Grand Final, of course, and the trajectory of that game is quite similar to this one. It was a low-scoring affair, that one as well, that the Blues won, the Tigers won in a classic against the Seagulls in 2019. Here's Dow. Low ball inside 50 again, but over the head of the target as a push. Podowski giving away the free kick to Zane Barzan.
Well, isn't this a big kick for a young, inexperienced man? in just his 4th game at VFL level.
And has never kicked a goal at this level either.
No, just the one behind. 21-year-old out of Heidelberg.
Every single time Coburg get within a kick, Carlton has the response. Does that trend continue here? Zane Barzen for an 8-point lead for Carlton. And I think the Coburg supporters have literally put him off there. That horn at the exact moment that he put boots a ball and he sprayed it across the face. Bravo to the Coburg fans here tonight.
The 19th man. Is it the 19th or the 24th, would you call them?
No, there's still 18 out there on each side, so we'll go 19th.
So, Jai Baddeley Kelly wanders away from full back, sends it over to the city wing, getting to the front spot and taking a very nice mark there is Swizbalek in front of Murkov. He's got better as the game's gone on, Big Swizz. Gave the hand pass off to Nelson, 1-2 with Boucher, with Silvestro, but his kick has been chopped off. Dow sends it back from where it came, Murkov.
Too early for this.
He'll play on, he'll kick inside 50, and Nolan should pick this off. Well, I agree with the crowd there. Very unlucky not to get a free kick, Harry Nolan, for in the back there against Glass McCasker.
If I'm Carlton, I'm not really wanting to slow the game down too much at the moment. I'm not satisfied with 3 points only at the 20-minute mark of this final term.
Too long to go. There's still, what have we seen? Only 3 goals to 1 this quarter.
But it is opening up just that little bit.
There's probably still 7 or 8 minutes at least to play.
Ball does eventually come out of the chaos, and it's a Coburg ball. Boucher, nice over the top to the voice of Nelson, who sends it forward. Out into open space, though. There's no one there in a Coburg jumper. It's a wayward handball, though. Chincotta coming together with Sibbald, who gets it now. Eden Sibbald. Hand pass inboard. Boucher keeps it low. Too low, but might still be a chance for Thompson. Fell over at the crucial moment. Trudgeon picked up the loose ball. Blues have some numbers out the back. Whistle goes. Not sure what this is about.
Yeah, it's against
happens off the ball.
Against McAvoy on Trudgeon for holding just off the plate.
Yep. So Trudgeon will get it from the top of the goal square. The Blues might be out of danger this time, but there is a lot of time on the clock yet.
He's going to bring it to the broadcast side, Trudgeon. Ellis at the back. Oh, great mark in the front spot for Carlton, taken by Radovanovic. And he's going to chew up all the clock that he can do. Goes short to Stocker. Not 15 was the call. Long ball down the wing. Arriving was Maybaum. Crashed the pack and brought it to ground and then picked up the loose ball. Hand pass over the top. Good ball there from McKenzie. Walker, Boucher, back to McKenzie. Kicks towards half forward. Arriving at the back was Nelson. Couldn't quite. McAvoy's got 3 for company. Nelson caught. McAvoy spins out. Gives it back. Thompson's a chance. Couldn't get back onto his preferred. Silvestro chips into the pocket. Chincotta got there. Couldn't take the mark. Recovers better. Runs away. Well done, Carlton. Chincotta will get it clear and send it to open space out on the wing. Corelliano, however, will bring it back.
And saw some options around the corner. Did nicely to get it to Max Thompson. Now Podolski going short. Silvestro marking. Inside 50. Cripps is the tallest man there. Kept it in front at least. Didn't take the mark. Now Liu dumps it out at defensive 50. Barzen fell over at the crucial moment. Crocker there for support. Kicked it toward the wing. And that's as far as it'll get for the moment. Spadowski who gets it back now for Coburg. Right football inside 50. Forced to defend that time, McAvoy, and just put a hand over the shoulder and gave away the free kick.
He's saying, I got the ball as the kick goes backwards. Stocker right on the last line of defence. Nearly 24 minutes gone. Liu had to stretch to take that one. Nelson was ready for any mistake. Short ball finds Handley. They'll pick their way through here. Trudgeon still on the defensive 50. He goes short. They've got a man up here, Coburg. Cripps. Out wider. And the Blues are just happy. Swanee to hang on to the ball as much as possible. Ma. Just leading them to the footy at the moment, Carlton. They've ticked a minute off the clock here, the Blues. To half forward it goes. The mark was dropped by Trudgeon. High contact. Was it seen? Yes. Advantage taken by Hayes. Kicks inside 50. Mackenzie and Glass McCasker front and centre. Next to the boundary line was Barzan, and his flying shot goes out on the full.
This fresh attack for Coburg is going to start with Lockie Walker.
They took 90 seconds off the clock bringing the ball down there, Carlton. It was well done.
Worked it perfectly. Only as far as Murkov on this occasion. So now you do slow it down, I think. Enough time's passed. It's probably only a couple of minutes left. Carlton's working this well. Murkov, inside 50. Croc is coming. Plenty of lines around him. Here's Badley Kelly. Got the handball off and they dump out at defensive 50. No mark taken by Nelson. Regained nicely by Hanley. Back inside 50. Mark was dropped there by Walker. And then the pressure came from Trudgeon. And then it found the boundary line.
Well, it was probably lucky that it held up on its roll about a metre inside. Otherwise, it might have been pinged. So those Lions fans right into this game, willing their team to find another goal. Swizbalek, a big fist. Swanee run down by Nelson. The umpire's circling on this, but he's not going to pay the free kick. Be a ball up. It's a good 100 metres from home for Coburg. Whistle here, and it's going to be further from home because Murkov gets the free kick. And he knows to take every second that he is allowed to take. Now there's another whistle, and it's a free kick to the Blues inside 50 for high contact. Jack Maybaum, he's incredulous.
He's got to be careful not to give away to 50 here because this is no gimme for
Glass
McCasker.
McCasker. Wow. This could be the game right here.
Well, firstly, it's 30 seconds off the clock.
Yes. So, didn't see what it was for. But Jesse Glass McCasker kicked one in the first quarter to almost put this one to bed. The kick's on its way. He's pushed it and he's missed it. And they're still alive, the Lions.
Lions fans will remember how it ended at Windy Hill.
Could they get the same result?
Well, the same sort of finish, just
in
the opposite result.
That's what I mean.
That's what they'd be hoping for. The ball was kicked hard and long into the middle of the ground. And for the moment, I think there'll be a stoppage called for. Swezbalek lays a tackle. Now the umpire will cross his arms. So what happens against Essendon at Windy Hill? Siren goes. Coburg is in front on the scoreboard, but the Bombers had got a dribbling shot at goal away and it bounced through for a point. In fact, the scores were level. Now that I remember it.
Here it goes.
And that point for the Bombers ended up winning the game, and the Lions lost the heartbreaker. Tonight they need to snatch it away from Carlton. Stocker's kick for Hayes is out of bounds on the full, and Boucher will quickly reclaim it in the bright orange boots and go very short to Thompson.
They've had a lot of heartbreak in the last year and a half, Coburg.
Thompson inside 50 now. Caught behind was McAvoy. Ball sent toward the goal square, but it did in fact go out of bounds. We're inside 50 for the Lions.
Rolling the dice here. Pedashki's gone forward. That was his kick trying to get back just before the line. Couldn't get it away in time. They lost 4 games by under a kick last year. Coburg, plus that Essendon one. They beat Port by a couple of points in round 2. So they're hoping for that again as this ball gets thumped back over the line by the Carlton ruckman. And another throw in. 29 minutes of just about to tick by. It can't be long to go. Can they find a way here, Coburg? Murkov slaps it down. Chincotta's kick smothered. Gentile brought down in the tackle. Swanee got him. Petrevski can't break clear of another tackle. Umpire says my ball again.
It's a desperate situation on the Coburg bench at the moment. Andrew Sturgis, I think, is actually down there trying to bark out some instructions.
It says aggro, that sign that's being held up.
The ball's at the bottom of a pack here at the moment. Umpire's waiting a while, and crossing his arms.
Well, they were all screaming for holding the ball, the Coburg players.
If there's a winning goal out there, it has to come from this forward entry, you would think, for Coburg, and it's not going to happen, at least from this entry. It might come back in. Boucher now. Left foot around the corner. Who's going to mark it? McAvoy came late. Murkov coughed it up potentially, almost to an opponent there. Thompson got brought down. It's Hayes with a good tackle. Really good tackle by Will Hayes.
It's beautifully done, wasn't it?
Another stoppage.
He could have easily fallen into his back. Managed to turn him beautifully. Umpire puts it up in the air. Hacked away by Dow. Who's going to get on the end of this? Maybaum. It almost got past him. Hacked by Glass McCasker. Gets to the centre of the ground. Crockett's dangerous in this situation. And it's more heartbreak for poor old Coburg. Well, they had their chances, the Lions, but it is the Blues who pick up a courageous victory, a victory that they can build a season on. They're home by 4 points, Carlton, 4 players down on the bench, and they get up and devastate these Lions once again.
They had one on the bench
For
for
most
just
of the
about
second half.
just about all that second half. In the end, the Blues, that is an outstanding and brave win for Carlton.
They lost Jesse Motlop, Lockie Fogarty and Will Setterfield before the game started. They lost Sam Philp and Jack Carroll during the game, plus Harvey Gallagher. Coburg, well, they threw everything at them. They missed some easy shots, it must be said. And, well, for the Carltons ends up with the 4-point win with 4 more scoring shots. But really, it's some of those... It's bad kicking costs teams games of football.
There was a bit of that both ways throughout the night.
There was a bit
Carlton
both
could have
ways.
ended it a couple times.
Glass McCasker towards the end, of course, yes. But
Coburg didn't make make the most of their opportunities to the fullest extent themselves.
Can't help but feel sorry for Coburg. This is now, I think, 6 losses by under a kick since the end of the COVID period, since the start of 2021.
Yep.
Combined, that would be combined of about 14 points, I would reckon. And they just must wonder how they're going to find a way to win. They did beat Port Melbourne by 2 points in round 2 and thought, well, the monkey's off the back. Well, he's well and truly back there now.
They'll be hosting the Suns next week. That's on Sunday, and then an away game against Werribee. A bye now for Carlton. That probably comes at a perfect time for these VFL Blues before they will play Port Melbourne and Geelong. So goal kickers, Ben Crocker gets 2 in the end, and then singles for Carl, Dow, Glass McCasker, Hayes and Sanders. And for the Lions, it was all singles all night. Watson, Thompson, Sibbald, Gillard, Gentile, Ellis and Cariliano.
Yeah, a great win for Carlton. We've been guilty of focusing a little bit on how Coburg must be feeling now, but the Blues, they must really be cock-a-hoop. They moved into the top 4 earlier today, before the game even started, with Box Hill being thrashed by Footscray, and they've managed to hold on to that spot. And a top 4 position is going to be absolutely gold in this competition. And if they can keep winning games like this when their backs are to the wall, that is really a way to make things happen in this VFL season.
I think disposals.
Yes,
I think
disposal
we'll
counts.
quickly go through those.
Smithies.
34 for Paddy Dow, 30 for Joel Trudgeon, 27 each for Ma and Stocker, 24 each for Dotsy and Hayes, 22 for Alex Chincotta. For Coburg, Nathan Boucher ended up with 28, 22 for Podolski, 20 each for Maybaum, Silvestro and Walker, and 19 for Flynn Gentile.
We'll have a quick look at the ladder with the 2 games to be played tomorrow. They are Geelong and Richmond, taking place at GMHBA Stadium. That's the Channel 7 game.
Right on midday, first bounce.
And North Melbourne versus the Northern Bull Ants, 19th versus 20th. That should be a ripper at Arden Street at Aegis Park. Really looking forward. I might head out and have a look at that one. Should be a good one. But the ladder, as it stands, Casey Demons 48, Southport 40, Brisbane Lions and Carlton on 32, Box Hill Hawks and Sydney on 28, GWS and Sandringham 26, Collingwood and Werribee, Richmond, Gold Coast and Geelong all on 24. Footscray has snuck up to 20. Port Melbourne, Frankston and Essendon on 16. Coburg on 8. North Melbourne also 8. Northern Bullants and Williamstown on 4. Thanks very much, Adam. It's been an interesting night and turned into a thriller in the end.
Yeah, good way to cap off what's been a massive day in Smithy's VFL with 7 games, a couple more to come tomorrow. 8th game in a round. It was a Friday night game as well. It's been interesting around this one, but that's a brave win by the Blues. Like I said, only came in with 22. Will Setterfield being used late as a medi-sub. I don't think the VFL side would have been expecting that. Being a Saturday, couldn't rely on too many of their local listed guys to come in late. So they were down 1 already before the first bounce and then had 3 injuries in the game. Only 4 AFL listed guys out there in the ends. And to be honest, Coburg had the crowd advantage all night as well. They were riding them home. But in the end, the Blues hold on, and that is a very, very impressive win. Impressive all round for both sides, but huge credit to Carlton tonight.
It's courageous Carlton who salute tonight at Icon Park. Carlton 7-13-55, defeat Coburg 7 goals 9-51. As I said, 12 o'clock tomorrow on Channel 7, Geelong versus Richmond. 2 o'clock live and exclusive on afl.com.au, and the AFL Live official app is the game between the Bullants and North Melbourne. Don't miss the footy tomorrow. It should be a ripper. But for now, Adam Serakoglu and Brendan Rhodes saying good night from Icon Park, where the courageous Blues have got up by 4 points on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app.